Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Me to You by Anita. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Subscribe by clicking on the red subscriber icon and also the bell notification icon so you get a notification whenever we upload a new video. And to our whole time subscribers, I want to say a very big thank you to you all. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for the love. Thank you for everything in general. I really do appreciate you and God bless you. So today on Me to You, we're going to talk about the difference between the long-term goals and the short-term goals of every man. Like as a woman, you should know your partner present situation. You should know whatever it is doing presently and its plan or its intention to make it a better one or its plans for the future. As for women, we all know that men are driven by three basic things, like three things, men basic things, and that is who they are, what they do, and how much they get. Everything a man does is filtered through his title, that is who he is, and how he gets that title is by what it does, and the reward of the effort of what it does, that is how much it makes. These three things makes up the basic DNA of every grown-up man. Sometimes or most often times until a man accomplish all of these three basic things that makes up the DNA of a grown-up man, the man that you are dating, you committed to, or you're even married to might be too busy to pay attention to you because he's striving, is working so hard to accomplish these three basic things of a grown-up man. And that brings us to the long-term goals and the short-term goals. Now, when we talk about the long-term goals, we're talking about the future. When we talk about the short-term goals, that is the present. That's the present situation. Now, short-term goals. As a woman, like I said, a woman, if you are going into a relationship with a man or you are already in a relationship with a man, you have every right, that is every single right to know what your partner is doing. You have every right to know what he's doing presently, how he gets that money you are spending. You should know how it gets. Do not just be the demanding type as a woman. At all times you're always demanding. You don't even care how he gets the money. You don't even care about what he does to get that money, because I believe as a woman, when you know whatever it takes your man is doing, that makes him to get the money, or you know where the money comes from, I believe you'll be able to appreciate the little efforts, or you'll be able to appreciate the little thing he does. But a situation whereby you do not know, there is no way you will appreciate your man, so you just be the demanding type all the time. It is not really good for a relationship. When you're always demanding, you don't even care about where the money is coming from. It is not really safe for for any relationship at all. Like I said earlier, you have every right to know what your man is doing. You have every right to know his plans for the future, to know if it's the one that will benefit you, to know if it's the one that you can cope with, to know if it's the one that can affect your life positively or the other way round. Now, the reason you should know this is for you to to know if this whatever it takes is doing right now fits, or he has a plan, or he has an intention to make it fit into the three basic DNA of a grown-up man, that is who they are, what they do, and how much they make. That is the three basic DNA of a grown-up man. Now, if your partner is doing something, or he has something he's doing and you do not know, you will not be able to evaluate its plan for the next 3 to 4 years to come. You don't even know if you fall into that plan. You don't even know your stand. You won't know your stand in his life if you don't know what he's doing. If you don't know his plan, you don't know his intention, there is no way you will know your stand in his life. The relationship as a whole might not, it might be on the wavering side because you do not know where you belong. But a situation whereby you ask him and is telling you, then you will be able to know if you fall into the plan or you do not fall into the plan. Then you'll be able to know if it's something you can cope with or it's something you cannot cope with. Now, if you ask your man his plans for the future and he doesn't tell you, that's another whole thing. And that's where we're going to talk about in That's what we're going to talk about in the long-term goals. But if you ask him and it tells you, that means he has a plan, very well, great. If your man has a plan, that is beautiful. It is great. Now, act like you are super interested in whatever it takes your partner is doing. Like, pay a whole lot of attention to it. One thing I've observed about men is that men love to express themselves. Like, when they are talking and they're expressing themselves, that is where you get the real information. That is where you get the real thing, because they love to talk, they love to express themselves. Because most of the times when they are expressing themselves, that's when they really catch the woman, or that's when they usually get the attention of the woman. So when your man is expressing himself, when he's talking to you, act as if you are super interested. Be the inquisitive and the enthusiastic detective that you are as a woman. Before I forget to tell you this, every woman is a detective. I don't know how this happened, but I've found that every woman is a detective. Like, I believe it's God's gift generally. Like, we know how to ask questions very well. So when you ask your man and he's telling you, pay attention. Now, the more attention you pay, the more interest you give into the discussion, the more question you ask, the more information you get about him, the more information you get about your futures together, the more information you get about the even the unborn generation, or the unborn children's future, the more information you get. But if you do not ask, you don't pay attention, you are always I don't care all the time, whatever it does I don't care, whatever the money comes I don't care, the money I don't care, all I'm concerned about is spending the money, you might end up losing your man as a woman. So I want you to always ask your man his present plan and his future plan. Know if you really fall into that plan. Because there are so many women right now that they don't even know what their man is doing. They're into a relationship, fine. They might they might be getting gifts, they get money at their beck and call, whatever they need is there, is available. But how does this money come? Do you know? If you don't know, you will not appreciate. And every man loves to be appreciated by their woman. This is one of the things that builds up a relationship. Every man loves to be appreciated by their woman. Ask your man how he gets into that feed. Ask him how he gets into that feed that is, or whatever it takes is doing right now. Ask him how he got into it, and also ask how possible whatever it is that can help to the success of whatever it takes is doing presently. Let's take for instance, it's a technician that is just working with a cable company and all of that, and it tells you he's doing everything possible to be a phone engineer. He's taking a part-time lecture, going to midnight classes to get that certificate that'll make him to become a manager, or whatever it is that'll just make him to become big general. I'm just taking for instance, don't forget, that'll make him to become big general. Now what you should do at this time as a woman is for you to start encouraging him. Start buying books all by yourself. If you know you have future together, you should work together. Don't just leave him to it alone. Buy books, wake him up at night to read. Just do everything together to make sure he attains that height that he wants, to make sure he attains that future that he desires for. Because when the future is bright for him, that means the future is also bright for you as the woman. When the future is not bright, you don't even care, everything is just clouded. The whole thing is running like a garage. I don't know. And do not forget, it's when he's talking that is when you'll be able to get information. It's when he's talking that's when you'll be able to evaluate if you fit into the plan, or if it's a grown-up man that can reason very well, that has the three basic DNA of a grown-up man in mind, and how he's working towards it, how he's planning to make it, or it's just a lazy man talking a whole lot of I don't know. But if you do not ask question, you will not get information. So when your man tells you his plan, please as a woman try as much as possible to encourage him. Try as much as possible to see things that you can do that will help him to improve in that angle of his present situation, so you both can have a future together. So now let's talk about the long-term goals. Every man has a plan. Don't allow anybody to tell you that I don't have a plan as a man. Or I don't think it's even possible for you to ask your man his plan for the future and we just tell you I don't have a plan. No, it will come up with cock and bull stories, to die down the situation. So every man has a plan. And a man that has a plan, or a man that has a vision, has already seen what he's going to do. He has already seen his future. A man that has a vision has already seen his future. He has already seen those things that will make him to attain that height in order for him to gain to that place he's aiming at. Every man has a vision. Every man has a plan. Every man wants to be independent. All men desire to be independent. Even most at times women too desire to be independent, but mostly men desire to be independent. They have plans. Don't allow any man to tell you he doesn't have a plan. So a man that has a vision has already foreseen what his future is and has already know what those things that he's going to do to make up to that height, to make up to that to get to that height, or to get to that level that he wants to. So as a woman, under the long-term goals, you ask your man what are his future plan. Now let me tell you something. If his long-term goals is same as his short-term goals, there's something wrong. Like, it's not balanced. The short-term goals cannot be the same as the long-term goals. Like, when I see it same, maybe for example is okay, let's say for example is a technician, and you ask him his present his future plans towards it, and he just tell you, I'm a technician. I already have a job. Technician, they pay me salary. God help me, they increase my salary. But if they not, we just still manage. There is something wrong. That means his long-term goals is same as his short-term goals. That simply means that man is not seeing a future. He's not seeing tomorrow. He just wants to is okay. He's just comfortable in that present situation. And any man that is always comfortable in his present situation does not see reason to go higher. Any man that is always comfortable is always in his comfort zone. Any situation he find himself, he try as much as possible to make it his comfort zone. That man doesn't have a future. Like, he's always relaxed. He doesn't have a future. Now, on the long term goals, when you ask your partner what his future plan is, and he tell you something like, I don't know, whatever comes comes, whatever goes goes, whoever wants to stay, let him stay or let her stay, and whoever doesn't want to stay, let her go or let him go. I'm just comfortable with the way I am. It doesn't tell you anything. That simply means that two things involve. One, I say that is a very, very lazy man that doesn't have plans for the future. Or two, he doesn't see you in his future. Don't forget, every man has a plan. He said that he doesn't see you in his future, so there is no need, like, no trace. There is no need at all for him to start discussing it with you, because you are not going to be there for him. You are not going to be with him in that plan. You're not going to be with him in that future. So he doesn't see any reason to discuss it with you. So as a woman, when you see this situation, please and please run for your life. Run for the sake of your unborn children. Run for your dear life. If a man doesn't have a plan, if his long-term goals is same as the short-term goals, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. So every man has a plan. Every man has a plan. The long-term goals is his future plan. If he has one and he tells you, help him to accomplish it, make it up to that great height that he wants. And if also in his short-term goals, please, that is his present situation, do not make the whole thing frustrating for him. Do not act as if whatever it thinks he's doing is meaningless. Do not act as if he's not even making any effort. Please, as a woman, encourage your man both presently and even help him. Tell him things about the future. Let him see vision. If he's clouded, let him see that the future is bright. And this is what you can do as a woman. Please learn to encourage your man in every relationship and also appreciate the efforts of your man.